Hi there, my name's Warrior Wacko, and I know this is quite late, but I've had several things happen in my life. I actually tried to record this 2 days ago, but that didn't happen because my microphone died, and I blew about 25 minutes saying nothing. That's 25 minutes too long, probably. I'll try and keep what I have to say today very short. What I'm going to say is just a few words about Michael Jackson. Hopefully I won't ramble on. I've got a timer set so that I don't, so that this can fit in onto YouTube pretty nicely. I just wanted to say that I was thinking about him quite a lot. I mean, not obsessively, but quite a lot in the last few days, what with all the talk about, him dying, and then what's going on with his kids and his estate, and then also what was going to happen with, his funeral arrangements and so on and so forth. They had the big memorial for him yesterday, and it seems to me that in death, at least, right after he's died, he's being now celebrated way more than he was toward the end of his life. I want to talk about the more unpleasant aspects about his fame and about his personality, and just how he spent the last years of his life, and how they differed so much from how he started off at least 20 years prior. I might go and have a part 2 about my own reactions to Michael Jackson and how he affected me personally, which, lots of people can do at length about, because he did have such an enormous influence on particularly music and music videos. Lots of people have been eulogizing how much he has smashed barriers with color and so forth and so on. I think he did that, but I think that it would have been done anyway. I mean, we all tend to forget that Prince came out. Prince got really big right after Michael Jackson, so I think that those barriers would have come down anyway, eventually, at some point. Maybe Jackson broke them down a little bit faster, but honestly. Just wanted to note that people have been kind of glossing over the fact that he's been, we've been trying to, capture him into this bubble that he was right around the time of Thriller and the early 90s, before all the little accusations started to come out about how he was around children. And I'm not going to say whether or not he did that, because I have no real way to prove it one way or another. There's been plenty of speculation, there's been plenty of everything, but frankly, it was never proven in a court of law, so that pretty much ends that. Did want to say, though, that people have been celebrating him as though he was kind of like the slightly more popular and special and interesting guy from next door, which he never was. He was never anything like normal in his life, and he's certainly not been anything normal in his death. I mean, so why people want to put him that way, or at least some people want to put him that way, I don't really understand sometimes. I think most of us who were influenced by Michael Jackson remember him pretty much from the Thriller era, and a little bit beyond that, sort of into the Bad era, when he was doing all kinds of other stuff around that time, when he was at his height of popularity, at his height of his ability, at his height of everything. And my cats decided to come and join me for this interview. Thank you, Gabby. Just wanted to, but the thing is, so we've wanted to put him in a time capsule and iconize him for a time and a place, and something that he now is going to, I guess, represent to us. Like, for example, we have people in this country have a way of iconizing lots of other people. Like, when we think of James Dean, we don't think of a guy who played with cars and possibly drag raced and crashed and died. We want to think of him as the outcast and the rebel roles and all that kind of thing. But what we really know about James Dean is pretty darn minor, comparatively. We want to remember Marilyn Monroe as that 1950s sex pot, but we know nothing of her struggles with various ailments, or, you know, her troubles with men, or the very tragic sort of life she led. So we have a tendency to do that. I think right now people want to remember Michael Jackson as that guy from the 80s who could absolutely sing and dance better than anybody else. And that was true, but that was, you know, not what he became. And I've been noticing a lot of similarities between Jackson's death, and this took me a little while to figure out, because I just spent like a few days thinking, gosh, I've experienced this before, I've been through this before, but why do I feel like this whole media circus, this, you know, really talking about how wonderful the guy was, why I feel like I've seen and experienced this phenomenon before. And then I remembered back to when I was 7 years old. And I was a kid, and my family lived in Las Vegas. And then a major dude from that, at that point in his life, who he virtually spent most of his career there, had just passed away, and I'm talking about Elvis Presley. Now, what I'm just going to mention really quick are the parallels between some of the similarities. I understand. Jackson and Presley lived in different times, different eras, different parents, different upbringing. You know, Jackson was from Gary, Indiana. Elvis was from Mississippi and Memphis and the South. So, you know, totally different upbringings, totally different rearing, totally different eras, but their careers and their lives had similarities, and that's all I just want to quickly mention. Elvis had his, you know, the best of his times in his 20s. Same with Jackson. Elvis could definitely dance in his own particular way. So could Jackson. And they both, as they aged, got more and more strange and more into things that were really hurting them. And their careers dwindled toward the last 10, 20 years of their lives. And when they died, a huge, big deal was made about their passing. There are people who probably still have Elvis sightings because he meant that much to them. Because he was such a groundbreaking performer. And the same thing with Jackson. There might even be Michael Jackson sightings. Mark my word, he's not dead. They're going to see him in the supermarket, looking at the tabloids in the checkout, reading about himself. Yeah, because that's what Elvis did. Right. So, mark my word, there could be some Jackson sightings in the near future. And both men died very suddenly under somewhat mysterious circumstances, and the truth of their death, of their slow self-destruction, didn't come to light until years after. And after it does come to light, and after they did pass away, in Elvis's case, many a book and made-for-TV movie came out. And mark my word, many a book and a TV movie for Michael Jackson are going to come out. Now, not right now, when everybody's still grieving and upset and all that, but give it a year or two. Maybe by the end of this year. Who knows? Somebody's going to write a book, or somebody's going to put out a TV movie. It's going to happen. Why? Because you can make money off of it. Because now that the guy is dead, a complete story is now going to be available, and everybody's going to put their mark and their spin and their whatever on that. Who knows? Maybe Jackson's ex is going to come out and she's going to have a big book being printed, or she'll arrange for a tell-all movie or something. Who knows? knows? Anyway, so that's probably coming up in the near future, folks. And let's face it, Mr. Jackson was a very strange ranger. Probably did need to bleach his skin because of the vitiligo that's kind of come out now. Probably was taking medication that and was doctor shopping. But I'll probably make a part 2 to this because I've got to wrap this up. Like I said, I can go on at length about Michael Jackson, and I probably will. So farewell, goodbye. I will probably have a part 2, and also this will be on my channel called Warrior Wacko, and also as a video response here. So I bid you farewell and have a good day, and I'll probably be posting a part 2 really, really soon. Thank you.